What's up, Joe fans? We're packed and stacked with a lot of brand new insight about G.I. Joe Classified. Is an actual mass device set on the way? What new figures can we expect the rest of this year? What will the new Battle Armor Cobra Commander include? And what do we know about the new Major Blood? We've got answers on all of that and a lot more. Watch until the end. First up, the Walmart exclusive Crystal Ball vanished in less than 30 minutes on Hasbro Pulse and Walmart's website. Blink and you missed it. We all know that behind the scenes Hasbro is celebrating this. But are you? And was this a success? Or just another frustration for collectors? Let's get into it from both Hasbro's side and the collectors. From Hasbro's standpoint, the sellout is a win. They moved units fast, locked in their revenue, and met their retailers' exclusivity terms. And let's be real, Hasbro isn't blind to the demand. They know that G.I. Joe Classified collectors are passionate, and they know scarcity fuels hype. But here's where it gets murky. Hasbro Pulse allowed buyers to scoop up 5 figures at a time. That's not just catering to collectors, it's feeding the secondary market. Predictably, resellers pounced. This sold out in record time, and now, Crystal Ball is held hostage on third-party sites for sky-high prices. Who could have seen this coming? Everybody. So, what's Hasbro's priority here? Moving product efficiently, or making sure that the right people, their actual audience, gets it? Right now, it looks like they care more about clearing inventory than curating a great customer experience for G.I. Joe fans. So that's the Hasbro side of things. But what does it look like for collectors? For everyday collectors, this is the same old story. Wake up, refresh the page, get locked out, and watch scalpers flood eBay. Fans are not asking for unlimited stock, just a fair shot. Limited quantity purchases are standard in the collectibles world, yet Hasbro refuses to adjust to reality. Sure, they could argue that exclusives are meant to be rare, but artificial scarcity isn't the same as thoughtful distribution. This is a point that we shouldn't gloss over. Many collectors were successful at getting a crystal ball. I was one of them. But when other collectors are making the attempt to get in and are just shut out, it just doesn't feel the same. Other companies enforce stricter limits to ensure more fans are able to buy their products. Hasbro, not so much. And this is something they could easily fix by lowering their limits from 5 down to 2. No one actually needs 5 of Crystal Ball, Mass Device Breaker, or any other figure unless they're looking to resell for a profit. And most of us can agree, that's not why we're here. And until Hasbro changes course, collectors will keep missing out, while resellers keep cashing in. And again, this is nothing new. This has been the same story every single year of G.I. Joe Classified. The only thing that doesn't change is Hasbro's approach, and the deafening silence from their biggest supporters and mouthpieces. The divide between who's on the collector's side and who's on Hasbro's side has never been more clear. So what's the takeaway? Crystal Ball was the latest see it, want it, can't have it figure in the G.I. Joe Classified series. And unless Hasbro changes their approach, this cycle is not breaking anytime soon. Sound off with your reaction, your thoughts, and anything you want to get off your chest about this situation. Were you able to get Crystal Ball? If so, how many did you pick up? And if you bought multiples, is there a good justification for it? And if you missed out, what do you plan on doing about it? Will you be going to the reseller market and paying more for Crystal Ball? Are you hoping that they'll eventually have a retro version sometime down the road? Or will you just give up on Crystal Ball? Let us know in the comments below, and in the meantime, stay tuned to Viper Island. If more quantities are made available, we'll let you know. Next, March 18th is coming fast, and you know what that means. Hasbro's next G.I. Joe Classified live stream. Expect new pre-orders, surprise reveals, and big announcements. As always, we'll have full coverage, so stay locked in. But for now, let's break down everything confirmed which is heading our way in 2025. First, let's take a look at the mainline figure waves. We've got Blowtorch, Footloose, Darklon, and Frag Viper. After that, Sci-Fi, Snake Eyes version 4, Monkey Wrench, and Night Viper. And wrapping up the year, a final wave featuring Battle Armor Cobra Commander, Major Blood, and 2 new G.I. Joe characters. Then over to the Legacy series. Coming up first is the Firefighter. And there's one more Legacy figure this year. It's another Search and Rescue figure, and we believe that this will be a Medic. Let's talk about deluxe figures. There's Law & Order, a mystery figure and pet set. Could this be the Sand Scorpion? or possibly Dusty and Sandstorm? Or will it be someone from the Iron Grenadiers like Voltar? Drop your predictions down below, and there will be another unannounced deluxe figure. Then over to the retro card line. We're now waiting for an official announcement of the G.I. Joe Green Shirt Trooper and the Cobra Bat. As for retail exclusives, let's start with Target. We're waiting on the Mass Device Divers 2-pack, and then another unannounced Mass Device 2-pack. Over to Walmart. There's Crystal Ball, which just went up for pre-orders on Thursday, March 13th. In addition, a Night Force 2-pack of Beachhead and Quick Kick, and another unannounced 2-pack. What do you think this one will be? Let us know down below if you think this is G.I. Joe or Cobra, and if so, what do you think this line really needs right now? More Joes, or a few more Cobras to battle Night Force? Whatever your thoughts are, drop them in the comments. Then let's talk about the Hasbro Pulse exclusives for the rest of the year. We've got the Awe Striker and Crankcase. I'm really excited about this one. Then there's the Cobra Claw and the Cobra Pilot. How about the Snake Armor? Then there's the 2-pack that we've been telling you about, Mercer and Sergeant Slaughter. Another 2-pack, Slice and Dice. And there will also be a Troop Builder set. And don't forget about the Cobra Rattler HasLab. All of that to say there's still a lot more to come this year. But there are not many surprises left of the G.I. Joe characters that we're waiting on, and when it comes to the remaining 2 spots for the mainline waves, which G.I. Joe characters do you think will join? Ripcord? How about Airtight? There's some obvious reuse there from either the Snow Serpent, Snow Job, or Mole Rat. And another popular figure, Mainframe. Is it time for him to show up in the G.I. Joe Classified series? If you're a fan of Mainframe and you're waiting for him, let us know. Then how about Lifeline, or Iceberg, or Wetsuit, or even some of the originals like Flash or Grand Slam? And what about standard versions of Crazy Legs, or even Wild Bill? Is it too soon to get a non-exclusive Wild Bill? Or how about the other 2 Renegades, Taurus and Red Dog? G.I. Joe fans, let's hear it. Who's at the top of your wish list for the rest of 2025? Next, the Ruthless leader of Cobra is back, this time in full battle armor. The classified version will stay true to the vintage design fans know and love, but with some modern classified upgrades. While you won't see a chrome finish this time, the armored sections will be decked out in a very sleek silver paint job. And take note, the helmet is fully sculpted, keeping the look seamless and intimidating. It's a head sculpt, not just a helmet. But what can we expect? Battle Armor Cobra Commander, he's a walking fortress, designed for extra protection when leading Cobra into battle. His high-tech exosuit featured a dark blue bodysuit reinforced with silver plating, giving him a more futuristic tactical edge. The armored helmet adds to his menacing presence, making him look like an unstoppable force. This version of Cobra Commander wasn't just about scheming from the shadows, he was built for combat. The wave including Battle Armor Cobra Commander will be the final wave of 2025 for the main line. Pre-orders will open in September during PulseCon 2025. However, it is not expected to arrive until early 2026. This is not a PulseCon exclusive, it's just going to be made available for pre-orders during PulseCon. Stay tuned for more information. When we know more, we'll let you know. If you're enjoying this, hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed. Next, over to Major Blood. Major Blood is making his return to the Classified series as a mainline release. No exclusivity this time, so everybody gets a shot at adding him to their collection if they want. But here's the deal. This version is heavily based on the Cobra Island Major Blood. Same head sculpt, which let's be real is one of the best in the line, and same overall vibe. For those hoping for a more vintage-inspired Blood with that classic eye patch, this might not be the update you were looking for. Now let's talk about reissues. Major Blood was originally a Target exclusive under the Special Missions Cobra Island banner, and many collectors had to battle scalpers or pay premium prices to get their hands on him. So with this news, how do you feel about Hasbro bringing past exclusives into the main line? Does it make figures more accessible, or does it take away from the original's exclusivity and value? And if you paid top dollar for Cobra Island Major Blood, does this news sting a little? Or Are you just happy more fans can finally get him without the hassle? Let's hear your take. Drop your thoughts below. Pre-orders for Major Blood will go live during PulseCon 2025 later this September. The expected arrival date is early 2026. Next, Hasbro's about to hit G.I. Joe fans where it hurts. The wallet. With Trump-era tariffs on China, where nearly 80% of US toys are made, Hasbro's CEO Chris Cox is making it clear prices are going up. And if Hasbro shifts production stateside, brace for a 50% jump in prices. G.I. Joe Classified figures are already pricey, but now, Hasbro's passing the cost straight to fans, instead of absorbing it like Mattel and McFarlane. It's kind of funny now how supply chain excuses never brought prices back down when costs stabilized, right? The term for that is corporate greed. Whenever one excuse runs out, there'll always be another excuse to raise prices. And why do G.I. Joe fans need to know about this? Well, it raises big questions for upcoming G.I. Joe Classified releases that you're going to pay for in the future. That San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Cold Slither 4-pack? This one is originally projected for around $150 or so US. But now, expect to pay even more. There's also a similar concern about the pricing of the upcoming G.I. Joe Classified HasLab. Yes, a G.I. Joe HasLab is still currently planned for this summer. So tune out any unsubstantiated speculation that it's been cancelled. That is simply not the case, and it's based on nothing substantial or concrete. Next, let's talk about the irony of G.I. Joe Classified leaks. Now sure, prototype images keep slipping out from China, but Hasbro's own G.I. Joe team is not exactly blame-free here. Lenny himself from the G.I. Joe team has quietly shared details with select people for years, despite being officially restricted from discussing unannounced figures. At first, the leaks were surprising. Now, they just make Hasbro look unprepared. Every time a grainy, half-painted prototype surfaces before an official announcement, it chips away at the excitement of future reveals. Instead of scrambling to contain leaks, maybe Hasbro should focus on tightening up their rollout strategy and controlling their own narrative, instead of letting third parties announce new products before them. Would you rather see Battle Armor Cobra Commander revealed through a polished Hasbro announcement, or another blurry, low-res leak, one body part at a time? I think the answer is obvious. But here's the kicker. Hasbro already has all the assets before anyone else knows they even exist. Figures, samples, high-quality images, yet leaks keep stealing the spotlight, while they sit on their hands doing nothing to change the situation. So ultimately, this is on them. So let's turn this over to you. How do you think they could improve their approach? More structured reveals? Timely announcements? More live streams? Drop your ideas and thoughts below. We want to hear from you. If you're enjoying this, hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed. Next, we recently called out Hasbro saying if they're planning a mass device, they need to announce it soon. Since then, radio silence from Hasbro. Let's be real, Hasbro's secrecy strategy is not working. Leaks happen constantly, and often, collectors are left scrambling. If an actual mass device is coming, fans deserve to know before figures start showing up for pre-orders. This only allows Hasbro's customers to make informed decisions. Are the mass device elements actually building towards a full mass device? If so, why keep fans in the dark while key figures like Breaker sell out? Announce the plan before dropping figures like Breaker, Snake Eyes and Polar Bear, or the Divers 2-pack. But it's already too late. That ship has sailed. Mass Device Breaker came and went. It sold out really fast. Anyone who wanted both Breaker and a future mass device is now stuck. Hasbro promised no surprise drops at odd hours, yet here we are again a year after they made that promise. It's been 5 years of G.I. Joe Classified, and Hasbro still hasn't learned from past Target exclusives selling out in minutes, even when fans knew about them in advance. Back then, production wasn't as high as it is now, so selection was a lot more limited. But now, Hasbro has no excuse to let this continue to happen. Many collectors missed out on Breaker simply because they didn't know when pre-orders went live. Here in Canada, Mass Device Breaker was available for pre-orders through GameStop. That said, I skipped this Breaker because I have no interest in it myself. But We heard from a lot of Viper Island viewers who felt blindsided by Hasbro, including a lot of Pulse Premium members. They pay for their memberships, and yet the first they hear from Hasbro about certain figures is after they've sold out. We're here to amplify their voices, and all of yours, whoever's watching right now. So Hasbro, time to step up and fix this. And you can start by being transparent about the mass device, before letting key figures sell out, which are then needed to complete the mass device. Folks, we want to hear from you. Should Hasbro spill all the details on the mass device before moving forward? And how do you feel about them rolling out figures before even letting the audience know if a mass device is going to be made? This whole situation is a disaster in the making, one that we could have all seen coming. A year from now, we'll look back and we'll all agree Hasbro could have handled this logically from day one. Instead, they once again chose secrecy over a smooth, collector-friendly rollout. Not a fan of their approach? Annoyed that you might not be able to have a complete mass device set? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let Hasbro know how you feel. And if you were one of the lucky ones to get Breaker before he sold out, are you planning to buy a mass device if it's actually going to be made? We want to hear from all collectors on this. And there you have it. You've made it to the end of this episode, and we really appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. And we would love it even more if you take just 1 second of your time. Make sure that down below you are subscribed to the channel. We ask that you do, because that guarantees that we definitely get to see you back here again next time. Thanks for tuning into Viper Island, your one-stop shop for all things G.I. Joe. When there's relevant news, we'll be here to discuss all of it, together with you. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, have a great day, and yo Joe!